Hello, everybody. Welcome to Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And today we're going to look at 5 free agent DBs that could interest the Lions. And this is going to be a series now. We're going to do the defense this week. We're going to do the offense next week. And I'm going to bring in my co-host right now, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And today we have a special announcement about the viewership of this show. A special announcement. So stay tuned for your dessert with your man, Curt. And as always, join the channel. Subscribe to the family. Hey, you don't have fans. We got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Let's get this thing started
right now.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. And right now we're going to go into the 5 free agent defensive backs that the Lions might be interested. Who's number 1, Curt?
All right, we got Xavier Woods, free safety from what America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. All right, he's aged 25 years old, 5'11", 208 pounds, good speed and range, and brings some physicality to the position. He also has a dynamic ability to him, playmaker all over the field, providing some help and support, against the pass and the run. So we need that good mixture. He might mix well with Tracy Walker back there, so they can be interchangeable, kind of like that John Johnson type of guy we're going to cover here later on. But plays the run real well, plays the screens really good, got a really high motor. He's, decently tall and some good speed to play some of those tight ends on the outside who split out. So give this guy whatever he's asking. He's a good, scrappy guy. So get out the checkbook, physical safety, rangy. This kind of thing where he can be interchangeable with Tracy Walker. That's what we need. We need a guy who can play the box and play back in coverage. So I think he may be a good fit in our secondary.
I like him too. Surefire tackler. I mean, he's a really good guy. He's only 25 years old, which fits with our model of a 2 to 3 year rebuild. So I'm liking him a lot. The next guy I got is Kevin King. He's a cornerback, but he's a big corner. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. But that's the end of the good things, at least I think so. He's injury prone. That is the first thing that I don't like about anybody. He's missed 23 games since 2017, but he's a dynamic presence who could give the Lions a dynamic duo with Jeff Okudah. I get the feeling he will leave Green Bay because of the injury bug and the fact the organization has a lot of holes to fill. He's an opportunistic corner with some dynamic playmaking ability. He's got a good feel to him. He's good playing. He's got good playing speed, above average athletic ability, so he can physically challenge the receivers off the release. He can play things pretty tight. He's also showed the ability to undercut and jump into plays, make some pass defenses and some interceptions. He can reach in when the ball arrives. That's really, really good. But I'm not sold on this kid just because of the fact of the injury situation. Yeah, we do this all the time. Sign them injured because they have so much promise and then they're still injured. I'm not for this dude. What do you think, Curt?
Yeah, he kind of reminds me, not as far as the age is concerned, but the other guy we got from Green Bay a few years ago with Mike Daniels, just the injury prone. Yeah. Has too many injuries. Kind of young to be having a lot of those injuries. Good size, I like that about him, but the injuries are question mark for myself as well. All right, next up, I got Mr. John Johnson III. I previously mentioned him when we talked about safeties, when I talked about Xavier Woods. 6 foot, 209 pounds. He comes from the LA Rams. Now, he's also 25 years old. Kind of a good mixture of young guys right here. 25 years old, the first 3 guys. A former third-round pick is already developed into one of the best young safeties in the league. Currently ranked 23 on Pro Football Focus list of top 2021 free agents, and was the 3rd highest graded safety last year. Now, this guy, as a 3rd-round pick, he really rounded into a really good safety. The Rams most likely will have room to sign any free agents, let alone Johnson, after the spectacular season he played. Now look at their salary cap issues. You know, they got a big contract coming in with Matthew Stafford as well. So it's going to be kind of tight out there for their purse strings in LA. So he is going to be a prime candidate for a free agent signings for a team. And I think with the Brad Holmes being our new general manager, the guy who drafted him out of college, I think there may be a fit where he might want to join a team with personnel that he's familiar with. So, you know, you have Jared Goff and you have Ray Agnew and Brad Holmes. So it may be and we have his defensive back coach in LA, Aubrey Pleasant. So that might be a reason why he might decide to come over to Detroit and play.
His age is fine. I think this is the guy we go after if we're going after a safety.
I'm thinking so too. That is the guy.
This guy. I think that he pairs well with Tracy Walker, and I just think he's the sky's the limit for this guy. I think he could really develop into something even more than he already has, and that's saying something because he's already a really, really good safety and a very good pick by our general manager.
And looking at his stats though, I mean, like. Of the young guys, he clearly has the best stats of any of the three younger guys that we're talking about for free agency.
Well, we go from younger to older, and I mean really older.
Really old.
Richard Sherman, corner, 6'3", 205 pounds. He's 32 years old. Now, here's something on Sherman that I think, he didn't want to come to Detroit before. Very vocal about not wanting to come to Detroit. If there is a huge change here in Detroit, Richard Sherman would be that change, because it would let us know that the regime is different, that there's something different. Because if he came here after being vocally outspoken about not wanting to come here, that does say a lot. He would be an instant leader in that cornerback room. He would help Okudah, I think, a lot. I don't know how much he has left, but in 2019, he was his old self. He was a physical shutdown corner, 61 tackles. He was the leader of the San Francisco secondary. And I think he could have the same influence here. I believe that he's going to he could be a strong influence. Depends on the money too. Kind of depends on the price for him, because he is an aging veteran. Do you think he fits really good in our defense? We'll see.
Here's my suggestion. It's just a little bit. What about moving him to safety?
I thought about that as well. 6'3", 205 pounds.
He doesn't have the speed, but he does have the coverability to cover tight ends. And
but he's never really had the speed. He never did, but he's always had the size, and he has the ability to play safety. He's always a good tackler. I think if you move him to safety, that just kind of could make some longevity to his career. But if we're getting John Johnson third,
add some years to his. Well,
I don't know, man. Where does he fit? He's not gonna. He's not a bench warmer.
No. I would say if you're just bringing in one of these guys, I would want to bring in Johnson. But if we can't get anyone but one, and we get Sherman, I think about how about moving him to safety.
That's not a bad idea, especially playing with Tracy Walker. That would be a very good thing, and I still think you could mentor Okudah and Awori as well.
Yes, definitely.
Who you got next, Kurt?
Yeah, we got Anthony Harris. Now, this guy is who Anthony Harris is. He comes from the Minnesota Vikings, division rival. 6'1", decent size, 202 pounds. Age, not terribly old as Richard Sherman, but he's a little aged. 29 years old. Harris didn't have any interceptions, no picks in 2020 after posting 6 in 2019. That defense of Minnesota just really struggled last year. They had too many people missing. So that may be, you look at that front seven of Minnesota, they just weren't as effective last year. And that may be the reason why his interceptions went down. All right. But he was still very active in coverage to help the struggling overall pass defense, and also racked up 104 tackles. And that's what I like about him. So he tackle, sure tackler in the safety position. PFF still thinks Harris could be looking at a big payday. The outlets have Harris to receive $14 million per year.
No.
Okay,
we ain't doing that.
We ain't doing that, player. All right.
Not for a 29-year-old.
If that ends up being the case, the Vikings most likely will not have the cap space to keep him, and he won't be in Detroit either at $14 million a year. I just don't see that happening with him. But he's a good, strong tackler. and he just had a down year because of that defense. They had so many people out due to COVID or injuries. Danielle Hunter and just so many others on that defense, which is out for the Minnesota Vikings. So he's a possibility, but it would have to be one of those things where we would have to sign him to where he would have to be a signing bonus and then backloaded with the money.
I agree with that. Anthony Harris is the prime example of how the cornerbacks and the secondary works with the defensive line and the linebackers. I mean, their defensive line was terrible, and that's probably why he got 104 sacks. Nobody was tackling at the defensive line. So he got a lot of tackles probably because they were missing a lot of tackles. Also, he doesn't get any interceptions, and that's another symptom of a terrible defensive line. We know that firsthand. So Anthony Harris is a no for me just because of the price tag. I don't think we can afford him.
Is up there. Definitely with that. All right, it is time for the Wall of Fame. Jim, who you got?
The Wall of Fame is growing, and we have at the top of the list here the gold members is Randy Prince, the Gridiron Blitz, and Dr. Detroit, because the doctor is always in.
He's always in.
At our silver level, we have Noma's J. On our bronze level, we got Detroit Drew, Midwest Lion, and Bubba Bo. And we thank all of you for being members. And if you want to be a member too, just look at the Join Now button to get more information on how you can become a member too. Get those cool emojis. We just got a new one. It's SFH. Sheila Ford Hamp, the initials. So that's a brand new one. So you can get those and hit that Join Now button to find out more about that.
Hey, now it's time to do what we do best. Detroit Lions news and rumors. Jim, what you got?
Well, the Lions appear to be taking a modern approach to team building. I like this, and I don't like it, to be quite honest about it. Chris Speilman appeared on 97.1. We all know he talked about Sheila Ford Hamp and her involvement in the team meetings and all that stuff. But his philosophy on roster building has changed. He said, I'll have to ask Brad or Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, this theory, but I have a theory that, back then when he played, I'm paraphrasing, used to build from the inside out, which I agree with and I like. He said, well, today's league, I think you build from the outside in. I hate that. No, don't. The concept of building from outside puts emphasis on quickly getting the ball your playmakers' hands on offense, and on defense, coverage takes precedent over stopping the run. We've seen a run on corners and stuff like this recently over pass rushers, and basically coverage over stopping and pass rush and all. I don't like this at all. I think it puts way too much pressure on corners. I think this is a terrible philosophy. And let's hope that they're not trying to build it this way, or this will be a short regime run.
Yeah, definitely. I don't like that concept at all. I definitely like the trenches. I like playmakers on the outside like anyone else does. But if you can't stop the run, your defense is going to struggle in pass coverage as well, just because of the fact that you can't get to the quarterback, no pass rush. You're leaving your cornerbacks and your defensive secondary on islands for too long.
We talked about Anthony Harris. He had 6 picks when they had a good defensive line. When they had a terrible defensive line, he has none.
Yeah.
There's a big correlation between the secondary.
If you can't get pass rush, your secondary is going to, no matter how good they are, they can't cover for that long.
They can't
by themselves.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah. Wide receiver is the Lions' biggest area of opportunity in 2021. Well, that's interesting. All right, the Lions front office may switch gears and aim to surround Jared Goff with some talent that mirrors his playing style. So, and to serve to make him comfortable behind the pocket as much as possible, and lead the offense primarily playmakers for years to come. Now, we all know that the Lions don't have really any playmakers under contract right now on the outside, except for Quintez Cephas and maybe Geronimo Allison. We don't know what his area is going to be because he hasn't played in Detroit, and he was much of a role player in Green Bay as well. So despite the fact that analysts have speculated that the Lions may decide to go franchise tag young star Kenny Galladay, I don't know how young he is, for the upcoming season, there's certainly no guarantee that they would be able to retain the services of one Marvin Jones. I think he's out the door.
He's gone.
Jamal Agnew and Damian Amendola. I think we bring back
Amendola's
Agnew.
gone.
I think Agnew comes back.
Yeah, I think Amendola either retires or goes to Tampa.
Yeah. And now this is especially with the incoming receding salary cap. With all implications taken into account, the league's decision to raise the cap from 175 million to 180 million projects the Lions heading into the upcoming season with approximately 6.5 million above the cap. So inevitably, the Lions will have to shed some contracts or restructure some players' deal in order to be able to make a competitive push to retain the services of some of their unrestricted free agents. Luckily for the Lions, the incoming draft pool is stacked with some wide receiver positions. Okay, it wasn't too long ago that the analyst for Sideline Report suggested the potential move for the Lions would be to bring in LSU's Jamar Chase to help kickstart a new era of wide receivers in the Motor City.
I don't know. I mean, I like my playmakers just like, but the thing is, we've had playmakers. We've had Golden Tate. We've had Calvin Johnson on the same team, and we didn't get anything. We never won a playoff game with Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate. I mean, we had all kinds of wide receivers. Yeah, Marvin Jones, who's been very, very good for us, and Kenny Golladay, and we still did not make the playoff. We did not win a playoff.
We didn't, because during those, except for that really 1 year that we had, that really good defensive line with Farley and Sue and all those guys, we never really had a defense where it was a stout defense that could stop the run and get after the pass rushers. After the pass. So my thing was, like, you never had it where it was consistent on both sides of the ball. Either we had a solid offense and a good defense, or a good defense. It was like either or. So we had a better offense and really no good, a solid defense. It wasn't grade A. So we were the middle of the pack or lower in the league in defense, but we had a great offense. And it was just, I never really got it. Besides that 1 year that we kind of got gypped in Dallas, that we really were really balanced on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and I think that if you build outside in, I think it's a mistake. I think it's a huge mistake. And this team has done that over and over again. So if you want to say same old Lions, that would be same old Lions right there. Sorry, but that's what I feel like. Should Detroit have kept Graham Glasgow? On the surface, it should be an easy yes to me. Glasgow was probably one of the biggest free agents that the Lions lost after spending 4 years holding down an interior offensive line position, either at center or guard. He earned the Iron Man reputation after not missing a snap in 2017 and 2018. He didn't allow a sack in 2019. Coming off his best seasons, the Lions had to decide whether to re-sign one of their most consistent players or allow him to see greener pastures. At the end of the day, let him go. Denver picked him up, made him one of the 10 highest paying guards with a 4-year, $44 million contract. Now, how did that work out for them? To be honest, I don't think it was that great. PFF said he was the 28th best guard. That's not great. And he did miss some time after landing on the COVID-19 list and a foot injury, which kept him out 3 games. But the other 13 games, he ended up starting in each of them. He played 75% of the snaps. 28th isn't great. I'm being honest about it. Did we get rid of him when we should have? Maybe so.
Maybe, but it may be the scheme as well. Going to a new team doesn't automatically mean success.
Absolutely.
What's that? The grass isn't always green on the other side. So he didn't fit that scheme out there in Denver. Them going from playing here in Detroit, where he's playing inside, to going out there playing in the Maha City, and that could wreak havoc on his, conditioning, because he didn't have an off-season program to work out there in Denver as well. So, it just may be a thing where he just didn't fit what they're doing. We've had plenty of players leave Detroit and not played well in the Motor City and play great other places.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But if you had Glasgow here, you automatically have a backup center for Rag now.
Yeah.
You solidified that right guard position. You can leave Jonah Jackson over the other position. Then the only position we have to fill is right tackle. And if Big V's the answer there, we have a solid defensive or offensive line. I'm not sure why they let him go. to be honest. Maybe it was money, but there was a few things that Bob Quinn did stupid, and maybe that's one of them.
And I think for them, to be honest with you, and I think a lot of things were ego for those guys. Well, they just don't fit what we're doing, so we're going to get rid of them because we just don't. They may have said something in the locker room, or they may just,
that could be
our vision, of what we think of as leaders on this team, and they have to go. So
absolutely,
yeah, that was a bad. I never liked that move when they let Graham Glasgow walk out the door. He was a homegrown talent, University of Michigan guy. You brought him in. I think you could have kept him. He was versatile. Like you say, plays center or guard. So I never liked that move by those guys. All right, now it is time to what? Let's talk about what you talked about on our last show. It's time for the comment cards. Jim, what you got first?
A Moneybags Vernon says defense wins championships hands down. Been shown many times. Just been shown with Tampa. Go with Micah Parsons. Off-field issues aside, Micah Parsons is a pretty darn good linebacker. He is somebody that I would target, but I would have to trade back to get him. I would not pick him at 7.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Izzy777, friend of the show, always bringing it. Says, while I believe trading down is the best option, if it appears, taking Slater to be the tackle and putting Vaitai at the guard will put us in the place where we have a top 10 offensive line for the next half decade. Goff or whoever is going to be the quarterback thrive with that O-line. If there is a way that this regime goes, they would just have to focus on establishing the defense for the next 2 off seasons.
Yep. Yeah, I like that pick. I like that pick, but I think that we could trade back and still, we could trade back. Trade back is really hard in the NFL. I don't think people realize how difficult that really is, and especially in the first round.
That's why I made that pick at number 7. I know people are like, "What are you gonna pick him?" But I was like, best player available with the need. I just don't see it where we're gonna have a trade partner to trade back to in the draft.
Makes sense. Jerome Brown, fellas, for years I wanted the Lions to have all silver helmets to be shiny chrome like Notre Dame, or I think he's saying University of Kentucky there. Thoughts? I'm actually for the black and helmets with the lion in the either silver or blue, Honolulu blue, but silver helmets. Hey, why not? I don't care. We could have those as like another alternate. That's what I was looking for. Yeah,
because the NFL is authorizing different helmets this year. That's why a lot of teams weren't wearing as many throwbacks because of the fact they couldn't change the helmet because they only had one game helmet. But the NFL has changed that policy where the teams can wear multiple helmets now. The players can wear multiple helmets. So it looks like there may be an option. I'm at the thing where I want a Honolulu blue helmet and a silver lion.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's what I want. If we're gonna change it, let's change it. I mean,
if we're gonna do it, let's do it right?
Yeah. Think about Tennessee. How they had the white helmets for all those, and now they have the dark blue helmet with the. That's just me. If we're gonna change things up, that whole thing with the classic lion look, it hasn't worked for us forever. So hell, let's make it off.
I'm with you on that. What you got next, Curt?
All right, Bubba Bo says, I watched one video and now I'm addicted to this channel. Great show as always. Thanks, Bubba Bo. We really appreciate you. He's one of the newest members of the subscription panel. So we really appreciate that he's joined. He's a member. So thanks, Bubba Bo. He really supports the channel.
I got Randy Prince, who's a brand new gold member here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. I have Zaven Collins. I hope Zaven Collins falls to us in the second round. He's a good linebacker. I actually like him.
A lot of people think he's the best one in the draft.
Yeah, some people say that.
They think he's better than Parsons.
I think he's better than Parsons too. I actually do. I think just Parsons just gets all the media, but he's from Tulsa, so we'll see how that goes.
That's smaller market school out there in Oklahoma. Yeah, so definitely a smaller conference. All right, the last one we have is Stephen Miller. Trade back, get more draft picks like in the movie Draft Day.
That was a good movie.
It was. It
Where he
was.
went and he did all these wheeling and dealing and this and that, and
It
he
was
kind
all
of messed
behind the
himself
scenes.
over, and then he had to kind of fix it.
Yeah, fixed it. Then he fixed it and fixed it really good too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and ended up with the
But
player he wanted anyway.
yep,
It was really cool.
it
Really,
was
really
crazy.
cool.
That was a really good movie. Hey, thanks, Steven. I appreciate that.
Good memories.
That memory of that movie. Yeah, that was a good movie.
All right, our question of the day today is from the 5 free agent DBs that could interest the Lions. Which one would you like to see brought into the D? You can put that in the comments below. And now we're going to go to our special announcements with the Dessert with Curt.
Okay, it is time for a quick announcement. Hey, the premieres will be moving. We're going to a little bit later time. So now it will just be Detroit Lions Talk. We're going from at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on our channel. So no longer 11 a.m. Eastern. It is 3 p.m. Eastern right here for Detroit Lions Talk.
Yeah, we made a couple of adjustments just because we wanted to bring you the best we can find coverage wise, but also running into a lot of other things that are going on. So we just want to make sure that you got the videos out, because sometimes it's very difficult to do the show, get it all edited and get it up and do all that. We just don't have a lot of time. So we just figured we would do it in the afternoon, and it's a big change. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below, but that will be starting today. So we appreciate each and every one of you for rocking with us. If you could subscribe to the channel, it would just be amazing. We really appreciate you doing that. And then, you know what? We're going to end this show right now with Curt.
Hey, as always, subscribe to the channel. Join the family. We don't got fans. We don't got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And as always, you can check us out on where? On BellyUpSports.com. You can go over there and listen to the audio version of this show if you can't catch the video. And you can listen to them on what? On some Skull Candy headphones. Make a purchase on the link down below, and a portion of the proceeds from those sales go to help us grow this show. Hey, we love bringing to the show to you. Check us out now, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel. And as you go throughout your week and through life, you know what you got to do. You got to bounce up, all out, and be the best version of you that you can be. From my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. This is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.